Land. It owes us everything. We exist because of it. We are proud of it. Yet at times we fight over it. We fight for it. Land has many nice stories. Land has many sad stories. From human and wildlife habitat conflict, communities fighting over meager water resources, eviction of communities from their land, to reclaiming stolen public land and forests, to right of women to own land, and the plight of thousands of landless squatters. Yet there has been over 120 laws passed over the years in a bid to resolving the land question in Kenya.
There have been quite a number of questions concerning land in Kenya, and the 2010 Constitution in Chapter 5 basically took the entire matter and wrapped it into three categories. We're talking of public land, we're talking of community land, and we're talking of private land. And all the way through history, we've seen the definitions change, we've seen the relationship between these types of land and the land users and the government change.
Kenya's history of land problems can be traced back to the colonial government's apparent conviction the private ownership of land created more incentives for long-term investment, access to capital, and growth.
The land has always been a culturally, politically, and socially complex thing. The National Dialogue and Reconciliation identified land as one of the key issues that brought about the conflict that we saw in the aftermath of that election.
For anyone, especially the indigenous people, to obtain land, they had to go through the state. This bred a culture of selective land allocation influenced through political support by those in power, resulting in inefficiency and corruption.
The more informal community land has been, the more unrecognized, the more unprotected it has been, the more it has not been on anybody's register. For once, all the new discoveries in oil, minerals, aquifer water, and any natural resource of any value is being discovered in community land.
Act Change Transform, with the support from the Swedish government, has been working closely with the National Land Commission and numerous non-state actors to reform disparities in land tenure regimes, and they have successfully advocated for the passage of appropriate land laws, acts, and land usage policies.
What has been lacking previously is trust between civil society, non-state actors, and government agencies. And I think with this facility, we've been able to build an element of trust. We've been able to build an element of collaboration, because ultimately we're working towards the same goal.
We were able to receive a lot of support from ACT through participation by some of their experts in the areas of land. They were part of the process of developing the ideas and on the county spatial planning guideline.
We supported the National Land Commission and the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya to conduct a research on maximum and minimum land holding acreage in respect of private land.
We have carried out a number of land clinics. Specifically, we have trained the county land management boards, and we have trained the county land officers to build their capacity.
Within CWOC, we run several programs. One of them is the Land Rights Program. For this period, the project is called Securing Maasai Women Land Rights in Kajiado County.
You have the people and you have the practitioners. So we try to facilitate the dialogue amongst these groups, and this facility helped us to do that, particularly with regard to land governance.
The Constitution of Kenya in Chapter 5, Article 61, states that all land in Kenya belongs to the people of Kenya collectively as a nation, as communities, and as individuals.
Huko kwetu bado hatuna mahali individual, mahali mtu anasema hii ni shamba yangu. Tunaishi kama group ranch. Katika group ranch ya Makuria nimetoka, tuko na wamama wawili na wanaume 7, ambayo ni kamati ya watu 9.
We managed to penetrate the community in a sense to guide them through the process of how to include women in their decision making. Now we have women sitting as members of the decision making platform.
In Kenya, where the foundation of most communities is agriculture and livestock production, women contribute up to 80% of the workforce, yet they only hold 1% of registered land in their names, and around 5 to 6% of registered titles are held in joint names, according to the Kenya Land Alliance 2013.
No one person would have all the land because nobody produces for the other. Production and the creation of the nation, the wealth of the nation, is a contribution of the whole mass population.
Cases of rampant land acquisition through illegal means have increased in the present-day Kenya. But why would some individuals be so greedy to the extent of forcefully acquiring or grabbing land without following the due procedures of ownership?
We were able to map all public land in Rari. There were so many roads which had been encroached and crossed, where some were to access school, others were to access river. But now people have surrendered them voluntarily, and we are able to participate in government participation, policies making, decision making.
It's a bottom-up approach where the ordinary women identify the parcels, then the county government and the National Land Commission then feed this data into an online portal and produce a digital map.
We have made quite a number of good and excellent strides, especially with the passing of the three main bills. You're talking of the Land Act, the Land Registration Act, and the National Land Commission Act.
The Constitution recognizes that a lasting solution to the land problem lies in an effective legal and institutional framework. It thus requires all laws relating to land to be revised, consolidated, and rationalized.
We worked very closely with the Parliamentary Departmental Committee. We worked very closely with caucuses within Parliament, including Pastoralist Parliamentary Group and the Coast Parliamentary Group. Community Land Bill is one of the least contested. The Physical Planning Bill, again, is less contested. It has passed through Parliament.
The Land Act 2012 aims to revise, consolidate and rationalize land laws and title deeds in order to provide for the sustainable administration and management of land and land-based resources.
We have presented a memorandum to Parliament on the Land Law Amendment Bill. We made a presentation to the Departmental Committee of Lands in Parliament during the retreat on the same bill.
We're very grateful to the Embassy of Sweden for having been a critical partner in this process. We would hope that other development partners start to engage critically in this sector.